So I was thumbing through this book I have. This has got some old stuff in it. They're a little more primitive. I've made several projects out of this book. Anyway, I think it's like 30 or 40 years old. But I saw this, and my mind, I thumb through it just to get ideas, and I always come up with something and think, wouldn't that be nice if you could layer some different colored woods for each one of these areas and cut them all at once and be kind of a segmentation experiment, as you'd get if you got 4 different woods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, then you'd get 4 different combinations, and maybe at least one of them would look really nice. So what I did, I've got 4 different woods. I've got aspen, ash, zebra wood, and mahogany. I've got them all layered. Ash, aspen, zebra wood, and mahogany. And I've got them layered. They're glued together in the corners up here, all through all those layers. And I've got them covered with this clear tape to kind of help lubricate. That's a full 1-inch cut. I'm going to use a fairly large blade. But this, I got to be careful cutting this. Normally I like to finish off a project cutting the hole out, the exterior, with in one smooth cut. But I'm not going to be able to do that. I need to cut internally so I can keep my integrity at the corners. So I'm going to go in and cut the swan first, goose, whatever it is, and then cut that out at the same time, and then cut these other 2 sides out and leave them attached to the external as I go. At least that's my plan. So it'll be interesting to see just exactly what this looks like when we get there. I think I'll get some pretty interesting combinations. Some of them may not look so nice, but it'll be worth seeing what it looks like when I get through. So here we go. I'm going to cut it. I'm at the saw, as you can see. I've got a number 9 in there. I'm going to cut very slowly, try to let it work its way through the wood. That's a full inch of 4 different kinds of wood. And I'm going to come in right here and try to come around that goose and leave the beak and come back and cut it out in the second round, and then get these other 2 pieces. Like I said, I'm going to do very slowly, let this blade just do its work. Now I don't want to build up any heat either. I'm not going to push it too hard. So here we go. Now, as there is no waste on any of these lines, the only waste is outside here. So that's a pretty sharp turn in this thick wood. Same here. Some will come out to this waste and turn around and come back in, go back around this way. So I won't have to make those sharp turns. And the rest of them will just have to, there's not many in here that's kind of sharp, but I don't want to miss this, get too big a gap in this. So I'm going to turn around out here, or maybe come all the way out and come back in backwards and go around this way. Well, that's a good sign when it just drops out like that. It means that it cut straight up and down. It didn't bow anywhere. I'll have to keep an eye on that blade. Those are long cuts. If it starts trying to grab, I may have to, when it starts getting dull, it'll grab the piece, try to pick it up on me. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm going to try to get at least one more cut out of it. But we got the 4 birds cut out without the beak. I'm going to cut the beak next. And then we'll cut the top and the bottom. So these are all cut out. It was quick and easy cut. Just had to be careful, make sure I kept it cutting too fast, getting too hot, and make sure it tracked top to bottom, cut straight up and down. And everything worked out fine in that respect. So these are the combinations I've come up with. So you got all 4 kinds of wood in each piece. And no 2 pieces have the same type, no 2 sections have the same type of wood in any piece. And that's kind of what I had in mind when I started cutting it. And these are the combinations I've come up with that it gave me. So what I'm going to do, I got this Baltic birch plywood that's 1/8 inch. I'm going to glue them to this plywood, and then I'm going to take the saw and cut out around them. And I put a hanger, I'm going to seal them, and no stains or anything. I just like the wood that I got there. I'm just going to seal them and let that sealer bring out the color, especially like in this mahogany. That really brings that out. I got to do a little sanding on that one right there, looks like. I think I got a little adhesive on it. Anyway, I'm going to, that's what I'm going to do. Cut them out, put a hanger on them, and seal them. So let me get started gluing them to this plywood. That's going to have to sit a little while, and then I can take it over and cut it out. You can notice I got this little piece right here. That's a piece of scrap plywood. And this stuck out over the edge just slightly to make room for the other 2. I needed that much more room on this. So once I got that glued on, I glued that up underneath there. And then when I cut it, I'll cut it off with the rest of it. Probably doesn't matter if that's a cosmetic thing, certainly not a structural thing, and may not even matter cosmetically, but I wanted it to be even all the way around. So I got 2 of them glued on. I got 1 more to go, and then I got another sheet to glue the other one on, and then we'll cut them. So there is more or less the finished project. I kind of like the way it turned out. That's kind of what I was wanting to do, see what the combinations would look like. You get all these 4 different woods and 4 different combinations. And there's actually more combinations than that, but to get this each wood, you know, represented one time in each project, each piece. This is kind of what I was looking for. So I've taken it outside and I've sealed it. I've brought the grain out a little bit. Well, actually brought out quite a bit. It really makes the mahogany look good when you do that. Those darker woods, it brings out the grain very nicely. So I've also put hangers on each one. I experimented with several different ways of doing this. I thought about mounting them on something black and framing it, and maybe even raising this up a little bit and giving it some depth. But it was going to start taking so much material. This took enough. The Baltic birch is inexpensive, and that's just 1/8 inch Baltic birch, so that worked out well. So this was a project that just kind of formed in my mind when I saw this pattern in the book, and I thought, well, I could do like a segmentation with that and see what I come up with the 4 different woods, because that's what you get 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces there. I like the shape of it. The zebra wood gives it some good texture there. Light wood's not so much, but that zebra wood and that mahogany really makes it work. And the ash has a little bit of a look to it too. This was the original. The colors I picked out, the woods I picked out, that's where I originally had them, and I knew that was going to be my main one. That was my idea to be the main one, because that looks like a white swan possibly, and this can look a little bit like water. That's what I was shooting for. So then you got the other combinations that I put together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mount them on the wall in my hall. And I'll take a photo of them there and throw in on the end of this video. I just kind of like the look that it gives. It catches the eye with the different combinations. So thanks for watching. And if you like that, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Notification bell and all that sort of thing you need to do to know when I post things. I don't imagine many people are holding their breath waiting on my videos, but still, if you enjoy them, I'd appreciate you watching them. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.